Alright, Destiny of an Emperor. One of my favorite underrated games of all time. Let's go ahead with the game start here. Already started a little bit into this. We can't let Yuanshu run free. And as you see, I temporarily have Lu Bu on my side, along with the famous brothers, Oath brothers that is, Guan Yu and Zhang Fei, and a few others. This game does not exactly follow the fictional book or historical history. Ooh, fight already. This game is like an RPG with a little bit of strategy to it there. You see several different attacks there. You can go all out, which is just basically rush the enemy there. You get your experience points and gold, of course. And you can even advance skill levels, which increase the amount of soldiers your main generals have, or can learn you several different magic attacks. In this game, they're called tactics. In the game, you can have 5 warriors in front, and then, of course, a tactician and a reserve warrior in your party. The graphics are so-and-so. They did a fairly good job on the portraits for an NES game. The music, I kind of like it. It has an upbeat tone to it. It does sound Chinese, which is what this area is set in, 3rd century China. The gameplay is pretty simple, point and click, doesn't make you go through too many menus there. I had already conquered that castle, that's why I was able to go through it freely. And depending on the terrain you get, you will meet different forces trying to attack your troops. The game's difficulty, not too hard really, unless you start making mistakes or go into later stages against enemy generals that are comparative in strength to you. You start out on the Kingdom of Shu, which in the novel is considered the good guys. And right now it's still fairly early in the game. Yuanshu's the 3rd major force you have to deal with out of what is probably 8 or 10 major forces that you have to defeat throughout the game. This game is actually pretty long. If you go into caves and discover all the secrets. You go all the way from level 1 to level 50. Another thing to note is, even though the all-out command is pretty quick, if you do battle it does take some time, but in battle you can actually concentrate your attacks on one general and also use your tactics. If you go all out on some hard generals, you may find yourself in trouble later when you try to... And when they don't see you, can have an easy retreat. Retreating in this game can be a little bit annoying because it's maybe a 1 in 2 or 2 in 3 chance of retreating, which is not extremely high. And of course, if you do get caught, all the enemy generals get 1 free shot on you. And this is one of the generals here, Le Beau. You can also do a report on your various enemies. It sees their strength, how hard they can hit. Intelligence determines on how well their tactics they use and tactics that can be used against them. Attack power is just an addition to the strength there. AC, of course, means armor. And tactic points, the enemy has unlimited tactic points, which is kind of disappointing since you're so limited in this game. but since this guy poses a little threat to me, I'm just going to go ahead and charge him all at once here. One named general is usually not going to give you a problem, but when you get two or more, or one with very good tactics, you might want to consider concentrating your attacks on him first, rather than going a suicide run. As you can see, one of my generals, Liu Feng, took a lot of damage in that one. And sometimes you can actually try to get generals. Sometimes not. It depends on how far you're on in the game and various luck factors as well. You can sometimes bribe them with gold or buy them with a horse called a steed. But yeah, it's a pretty simple game. I'll have to show you the inventory in the town as well. The town is where you can get various upgrades to your weapons and armor, along with caves or other sources. Right here I can go to a cave. This is the only optional cave, so I'm going to skip it and go ahead towards the boss fight. And they have gates before you actually can get to the main castle, which is usually where one of the main bosses is hiding. Since this guy really doesn't pose a threat, I'm going to go ahead and wipe him out here real fast. What this thing does have a simplistic yet easy to pick up and also later throughout the game, of course, both you and your enemy's number of soldiers will increase. Some of these overhead maps do get pretty long after a while. Go ahead with the command section here. You got talk, which is as in town. I'd talk to various people for good hints and information. Check is just basically a search. And there's usually one hidden item in each town or castle. Formation, you can reorder your troops, or you can assign a strategist. General, you can inspect their individual stats there, what they are equipped with, and what tactics they can use. And item, of course, your various weapons, and recovery items. Carry up to a maximum of 8 items, which is pretty typical in most NES games. The only way you can restore life points other than this is go to the inn or use a special healing technique. But the tactics you learn are in Chinese. However, it's pretty easy to memorize them since you only get 6 at a time. Let's see if I'm... yeah, good enough. Let's go ahead and